What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voyage RC. Going to be doing a build review of the B7014 kit from Team Associated. Just finally got this thing all built. Nice little wrench session, and this thing went together very easily. First of all, how good does that look? This thing is a sexy four-wheel drive car, I must say. All the aluminum and carbon fiber bits on it complement each other very well. Digging the black anodized parts as well, mixed in with the typical Team Associated factory team blue anodized stuff. It does come with sway bars front and rear, and they do give you various thicknesses based on what setup you're going to do, because this is one kit that is designed to be built for either dirt or carpet racing. So they kind of give you the stuff in the kit to build the car either way. That being said, they also give you two different shock coils. Kit setup for dirt is 35 weight front and rear. They do give you a tube of 50 weight for the front if you're going to be building it for carpet, to run it a little stiffer. And then it is, what is it, 10K for the diffs, now that I'm blanking out on it. Get your facts together. Oh, let's just check the old manual here.
A few moments later.
Diff fluid 10K. I was right. Oh my gosh. I remembered something. Anyways, I gotta say, this kit, this is probably the best build I've done today. This thing went together super smooth. Everything fit the way it should. All the tolerances were where they needed to be. Even the diffs, they tell you to put this certain amount of shims on it out of the kit, and you put those shims on it, everything works good. I mean, just look how freely everything spins. I mean, that's full four-wheel drive drivetrain that spins very smoothly, no binding, no issues. This is awesome. So everyone that I've heard before I built this saying, this kit built amazing, they were right. They knew what they were talking about. They had a good experience, and so did I. They do give you an amendment to the manual for a couple of the steps. So just follow along with that when you do the build, and it makes everything good. The main thing is, so for the diffs, they're actually, if you read this, they're telling you you can either do it to this certain fill line, or they're telling you to use a scale and you get it to a certain weight, and that's how you know you have the proper amount of oil in it. That way it's not underfilled or overfilled and going to cause problems with the differential. So that's kind of cool. I think that step on the amendment was, the manual said it was supposed to be 45.5 grams, and then this is saying 46.5 grams. So just for the weight purposes, if you're using a scale, I just eyeballed it, and everything seemed to work out good. Just get it.
Was it a scratch or a pick?
It was a scratch.
Hey, it's me.
Get it to that line there, and everything worked good. And then a couple of the other ones were just changed a couple screw sizes and little minor things like that. Shock eyelet length, long front and rear, so stuff like that. But yeah, typical Associated manual. They did a pretty good job. There were a few areas in the manual I thought could have been a little bit more clarified. They didn't really do a whole lot to tell you, hey, this is kit setup, so say put your shock mounts in this position. You kind of had to either look forward on the next page to see where they're mounted, or just go back. They have the kit setup sheet in the back of the manual, and just reference that. So little things like that just, it would have been nice not to have to kind of dance around a little bit. Obviously, a lot of guys that are building these are going to have a setup sheet for their local track that, has been proven to work, because other guys have the cars that they've been playing with setup and find what works there. So a lot of guys are going to go off that, so they're going to have different setup from kit setup anyway. Anytime I build a kit, I personally like to run the kit setup first. It's usually a pretty good neutral starting ground, and then you can kind of tinker with it and kind of fit it for your personal track that you run at your local hobby shop. But yeah, it comes with a, let's see, 78 tooth and a 72 tooth spur gear for mod or stock racing. Comes with all the, obviously, the setup option parts for making your adjustments, axle height and diff height, stuff like that. So you got a lot of spare parts, so you can play around with setup. They're not just giving you the one piece that you're going to use in the kit and then making you buy all the other stuff. So that's nice. They do always, so associated, as with most of the companies, TLR does this too. They kind of give you some tips and tricks, when you're doing it in there. So like they'll say, hey, put thread lock here, or like this, in this case, put black grease. And then when you get to the shocks and you're putting the X rings in, so these V2 shocks do come with X rings out of the kit, which I think they've been doing for a while now. They don't really use the standard O rings anymore. X rings have been proven to be a better seal and work better. So than just getting those right out of the kit. But Associated is always, they sell their green slime. They always tell you to, do the rings in green slime, help keeping them from swelling and causing issues later on. Not included in the kit. So there is a page on the front of the kit that says, items that may help with the build and stuff. And then they'll have those little tips and tricks in the book that say, hey, use green slime here. So you do have to buy that stuff separate. I mean, honestly, how much does a tube of that cost Associated? It'd be kind of nice to just see it in the box, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. I think of that green slime. I mean, you can build a million kits.
1 billion, gajillion, fifillion, million.
Off of one of those because you're not using that much. So let's go out and buy a thing of that. Does not come with thread lock, and being that there's a lot of aluminum parts in here, you will definitely want to have some blue thread lock. Don't use red. You'll never get it apart. I've seen that a lot at the shop. People use red Loctite and they wonder why they can't get their parts apart. So blue Loctite, get it right. But yeah, blue Loctite, green slime. Obviously you're going to want your tools. I always use a good set of MIPs, that way I don't risk rounding out any heads of the screws or anything like that. So use the best stuff when you're doing this. That way you don't risk anything. That's the way I see it. Buy the tool once, spend the money, buy the tool once, be done with it. But yeah, I was super impressed on how well this kit built. I mean, there's a lot of kits out there that, or at least from what I've built in the past, I mean, we've come a long way in the hobby, but kits in the past, you got to do a little bit of shaving on the parts here and there, or, you got to shim the diffs a little bit different to get them to fit right. I mean, this one just went step by step with the book. Everything bolted together properly, everything fit perfect. The drivetrain is as free as can be. So very impressed. All the parts, the quality of the parts, the plastics. I know I've said this before on the TLR kits. Their plastics are really nice because you don't really worry about stripping them out with the screws. So the plastics on this were really good too. Like I told you before, I used that DeWalt hand drill and snug them up really good with that. Don't have to worry about stripping anything out, and good to go. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Let's get one more look at this thing. Look at this thing. It's so pretty. The inside for you. But yeah, a lot of innovation went into this. Huge. So the last four-wheel drive I had personally was the B74, and I had that when the kit was released. And I haven't had a four-wheel drive in a while. But this is a huge step up. I mean, just solely based on the build and the quality of the parts and stuff, this is a huge step up from even the B64. Build was a lot better, a lot smoother. And then obviously this one you get a lot more carbon fiber and aluminum. Like the aluminum steering rack, you still get the plastic bell cranks, but the aluminum rack, that was a pop-up that a lot of guys did on the B64 because that was a known breaking point. So they all went to the aluminum rack. But yeah, took a little book out of the TLR playbook. Captured hinge pins on the rear. They did not do that in the fronts, but those are captured with a set screw. And then there's a nice ridge machined into the hinge pin where the set screw goes, so you get a nice good capture on that. So you're definitely not losing that hinge pin unless you didn't use your blue Loctite and the set screw backs out and then your hinge pin comes out. So whenever you're going into aluminum, use Loctite. Yeah, I think that's about it. Ball cups on these ones feel really good. Nice and loose. They're not binding at all. And then when threading the turnbuckle into them, nice and, I don't want to say loose, because that would mean you'd have issues with them not grabbing right. But they weren't super tight like the TLR ones. So I just ran them in and out with my drill a couple times with some black grease, but I feel like you probably didn't even need to do that. Just thread them on once and you're good, and still be able to adjust them freely and be fine. Just force a habit on my end. Shocks built really well. I've always loved the V2 shocks from Associated. They do come with the machine pistons in this kit, which is nice. I think it's 2x1.6 in the front, 2x1.7 in the rear. Yeah, I mean they're just easy to build. They bleed really nice, and then I use my Tamiya vacuum pump to get all the air out, and you have a nice, well-built shock. I like all the tuning options available on this. The rear hub design was kind of a little unique, but yeah, you can, if there's one hole for the ball stud, so you're not weakening it by putting all those extra holes in the part, and then you can obviously you can change those out if you want a different location for the ball stud. So that's nice because it's a plastic hub with that machined aluminum mount that you bolt to it. Bearings, they did oversized outer bearings on all four corners for durability, so that'll be nice. And all the bearings in this kit are oiled now instead of greased, so you don't have to pop the seal, spray the grease out, and then re-oil them. So it's going to be a lot smoother for your drivetrain. But yeah, everything went well. This is probably favorite kit that I have built to date, especially as far as ease of building it. I mean, everything went together really well. So yeah, great kit. If you're looking for a new four-wheel drive vehicle, I would definitely check this one out. The guys, at least that have been running at my local hobby shop, Hobby Action, have been loving it. So it drives really well, lands really well. So yeah, good quality kit. Obviously it's brand new, so you don't have to worry about a new one coming out anytime soon, at least from Associated. There's some other companies out there that can get on it. But yeah, good quality kit. I would definitely recommend picking one up if you're in the market for a four-wheel drive. Hopefully I'll get a chance to drive one of these soon. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more.